prosecutors dropped charges against 3 remaining Baltimore officers charged in Freddie Gray's death due to dismal likelihood of conviction. Prosecutors have decided to drop charges against all of the Baltimore police officers who were accused in the death of Freddie Gray, a man who suffered a fatal spinal injury while in custody. The decision ends the more than year-long effort to bring criminal charges against 6 officers in the high-profile case, in which prosecutors argued that the cops willfully disregarded Gray's safety by not fastening him in a seat belt while he was in the back of the van and failed to get the distressed man medical attention. Charges against the 6 officers ranged from misconduct in office to second-degree depraved-heart murder. Officers Edward Nero, Caesar Goodson, Jr., and Lieutenant Brian Rice had previously been acquitted of all charges in the case that captured the country's attention. Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby said the dismal likelihood of conviction against the 3 remaining officers to be tried was the reason for throwing out the charges. As a mother, the decision not to proceed on these trials is agonizing, Mosby, surrounded by her team of prosecutors and Gray's family, said in an emotional press conference following the decision. The decision to toss the charges against the 3 remaining officers was announced Wednesday morning at the start of a pretrial motions hearing for Officer Garrett Miller, who was the next scheduled officer to stand trial. Charges were also dismissed against Officer Alicia White, who was scheduled for trial in October, and Officer William Porter, set to be retried in September after his first trial ended in a hung jury and mistrial last December, reported. All of our clients are thrilled with what happened today, and will be making a comment later to address the details of what happened, said Catherine Flynn, Miller's attorney, outside the courthouse, according to The Sun. A gag order has also been lifted, allowing prosecutors and defense attorneys to discuss the case publicly for the first time. In her first public comments on the case, Mosby described a fraught relationship with the police department during a problematic investigation. Mosby fired off criticism about police officers who launched a counter-investigation on her. Officers White and Porter and Lieutenant Rice all sued Mosby, claiming they were falsely arrested and defamed in order to quell the riots in Baltimore. We all bore witness to an inherent bias when police themselves, Mosby fumed. GOP nominee Donald Trump wasted no time in lashing out at Mosby on Wednesday. Trump applauded the police officers who stuck it out at a press conference in Florida. "I think she ought to prosecute herself. She is a disgrace." Gray died in April 2015, the week after he was taken into custody. Half of his spine was partially severed while he was handcuffed and unsecured in the back of the metal police wagon. His death sparked major protests in Baltimore and nationwide outrage following the deaths of other black men and women at the hands of police. Gray was arrested in his West Baltimore neighborhood after trying to flee from cops. Officer Miller was one of the officers on bicycle patrol who pursued Gray and put him in a restraining technique called a leg lace before he was thrown in the back of the wagon. Miller, who had been on the Baltimore police force since 2012, faced second-degree assault 2 counts of misconduct in office and reckless endangerment, charges punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Prosecutors said that Officer Porter asked Gray if he needed medical attention, but did not call for medical assistance even after Gray said that he did. He faced charges of involuntary manslaughter, second-degree assault, misconduct in office and reckless endangerment. Officer White was accused of not seeking medical attention for Gray after seeing the man in agony on the floor of the police van. She faced the same charges as Porter. Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, who gavelled in the Democratic National Convention on Monday, agreed to pay Gray's family $6.4 million in a civil settlement,